Ask the Gynecologist. Tonight, we'll be talking about PID and infertility. So if you're free, let us have a chat together. I'm opening my video. We're going to be live on Facebook and Instagram. And we're also live on YouTube. Yesterday, we tried to do Facebook live teaching, but Facebook has not fully admitted me back. I don't know why, but I think with time, it will be fine-tuned. Anyway, good evening once again. My name is Dr. J at Ask the Gynecologist, and I think tonight our program is very good because people can see me talking now. So definitely Facebook has reconciled and they're happy with us. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, everyone. Ammonia Green Adenika, Kamfat Ola Kunde Olubami. We also have people on Instagram, Chocolate Beauty, Olu Olubukola, Top Mate, House of Cakes, Noble Queen UK, and we're also live on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, good evening. And good evening to my wonderful sister, my wonderful mommy, Olayinke Anibi, all the way from London, England. Thank you so much for being here tonight. So now we're talking about PIDs and infertility. So if you're free, get settled in. Yesterday was the first day I came back to Facebook. I was on lockout by Facebook for about a week. Oh my God, I need to tell you, it was a bit agonizing. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that I'm released from Facebook and I'm back on live. My name is Dr. J once again. I'm Ask the Gynecologist, and tonight is a wonderful one. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be moving. I'm happy to be healthy. And I'm sure you are as well. Oluwasayo, Okunla Ashake, Chidima Gift, Oretime Temitayo Adebono, Precious Baby, Mochibola Tom 14, Madiha Lolodi 12, Stephanie Arie, Patience Igwe Otsapa, Aminat Olaide, Oluwasayo Ashake, how are you? Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, wonderful ladies, wonderful people. So, settling, we're going to start shortly. This month, our topic for the seminar this month is going to be on how to improve sex life, super sex seminar. So, and it's a free one. That is why you should be registered by now into that free seminar page. It's a free seminar. You don't have to pay for it at all. This is the time to register. Don't start registering for the seminar on the last minute. The seminar is free. Just click the link we sent to you, join the seminar, and wait until we start next week. It's going to be an amazing time. So I don't want anybody to miss, because the things I'll be sharing on that day, I know most of you know everything, trust me. But the way I'll be dissecting it slowly, it's going to have a new light to you. You see, a lot of things that we do in this world, okay, we do it, we know it, okay. But when you learn things in a different way, in a different environment, things starts to make sense, and you understand why these things are done during sex. Okay, so I don't want anybody to miss that seminar. I'm not going to repeat it, and I'll be sharing some specific knowledge, and this I'll give you the reasons why specific things are done during sex that this had spice and they had flavor to your sex life. Akonde Mawufa Tayo, Precious Chioma, Ubruse Patience Ekeleme, we have Favor Enore Osiebe, we are Blessing Anwana, Phillips Amaka Stella, and Belewade Olajire, Galgaga 571, Noble Queen UK. So to join the seminar, that is the December free seminar, just come to our Facebook page. The link is on Facebook, and then you'll be sent the link. You can click it, just join and settle in. Okay? So we are very ready, and we're about to start this talk tonight. Grab your sandwich, your cup of tea, your dinner, and let's talk today. First of all, what is PID? PID stands for pelvic inflammatory disease. Precious baby Job, please don't worry. Our team members will put up the link for the seminar shortly. So look for the link on this comment page, click on it, and then join the seminar page. So, but let us continue. If we have any of our moderators now online, can you please post the link to join the seminar on Instagram and also on our Facebook page here now? And also, if you can join us on YouTube, post the seminar link on YouTube. People are already here live on YouTube. I want to welcome everybody. I can't see people on YouTube because I think There's no way I can see people that are watching this on YouTube, but anyhow, if you can see me, I want to say good evening to you. It's a pleasure to be your host tonight, and I'm so grateful and I'm so happy to be yours tonight. Damilola Oyetunji, Ogunyinka, Grace, Okudi, Uja, Tosin Bakare Gunlade, Olasonkoma, Olaki Ton Shadare, Ramatu Musa Ifebo, and Steph Marie's Ventures, Leaks Queen. Thank you so much, my beautiful people. Got you. So PID, pelvic inflammatory disease or diseases, commonly caused by any organism that can inhabit or that can infect or that can cause anything in the vagina. Okay, any organism, any infection in your vagina has a potential to cause PID. Okay, especially the bacteria. Especially the bacteria. Gonorrhea can cause PID, it's a bacteria. Chlamydia can cause PID. Though chlamydia is not really a bacteria, but it can cause PID. And the most commonest causes of PID in the human body are chlamydia and gonorrhea. But other things can cause PID too, including bacterial vaginosis, trichomoniasis. They can cause PID. Okay. And when we say PID, good evening, Vivian, Dico Briggs, Ebele Gladys, Glory Chiamaka. PID, what it does is very nasty. So I'm going to draw some few things on the screen on my whiteboard here. I'm not sure how people can see it. Okay, good. I think I can just turn my camera on YouTube and you can see my whiteboard I'll be using here. Okay, now let us see if people can see here. So you can see, people can see from Facebook and people can also see from Instagram. Good. Now I need to take off this my rich dad sheet here. Good. When you look and you always look at the womb, this is the womb, okay? The womb is like a pear-shaped organ. That's the womb. Always, all the time, most cases, there's all going to be a tube here on the left and a tube on the right. And that is your vagina outside here, where the penis normally stays, okay? We'll be talking about sex next weekend. So go and join that super sex seminar group. That's the vagina. If you put your finger into your vagina, at the top of your vagina, you'll feel a soft substance that's as soft as my nose. That is your cervix. That is what opens for baby to come out. That is the cervix. Here. Okay? Cervix. That's the cervix there. Cervix, okay? And that's where we take cervical smear from to check for any signs or cells of cancer. PID can be caused by any bacteria, most especially bacterial vaginosis, chlamydia, gonorrhea. And what PID does is that the infection in the vagina, once they are not treated on time, they move into the womb cavity. They colonize the womb cavity and they spread into the tubes on the left and on the right, and then they infect the opening of the tube on this side, on that side, and they spread into your tummy, causing problems. PID will usually cause pain on both sides of the tummy. Now, because you have pain on both sides of your tummy, does not mean that you have PID. So, because I'll start getting text now on my WhatsApp that doctor, I have pain on my left and right lower abdomen. I think I have PID. No. It doesn't work like that. That is just one of the things you feel when you have PID. PID will also come with offensive smelly discharge down below. PID will come with fever, and PID will come with pain during sex, and also, making you so unwell because it can cause infection that can spread into your tummy. When the infection in your vagina moves into your tummy, moves into your tube, and then spills into your tummy, that is when it causes PID, pelvic inflammatory disease. It causes inflammation of all the organs in your lower tummy. Okay, there's a lower tummy down below, and there's upper tummy. Upper tummy is where you have your stomach, your liver, and the spleen. Lower tummy is where you have your womb, your ovaries, your bladder, Okay, so there's lower tummy and there's upper tummy. PID will cause infection in your lower tummy, most especially. Okay, PID can be caused when when you have poor sexual habits. You're always having sex with different people, changing multiple partners, not using condom for protection. You're going to expose yourself to PID. Okay, and also other hosts of diseases. Now, the bad thing about PID is that when you have PID, it does not come with one organism. It will bring its cousins. Gonorrhea. When you have chlamydia, you see gonorrhea. When you have gonorrhea, you see chlamydia. And those two things are very nasty in that they block the tube. One of the commonest problems about PIDs that they cause tubal blockage, okay? PID will probably cause tubal blockage. Now, if you got one PID treated, you're exposed to another PID because you don't change your sexual habits. You get PID again, you get PID third time. The more you have PID, the more damage it will damage your tube. One PID is enough to damage your tube and block your tubes. That is why some people have blocked tubes from PID they've had before that was not properly treated or that was not treated completely. When you have PID, don't just swallow antibiotics, okay? It's also very important that you do vaginal swabs to check for what particular organism is causing your own particular PID. Because your friend Sherifa too had PID, she used a particular antibiotic, it doesn't mean that you should use the same antibiotic because you have that same PID. Your PID could be caused by a different organism. It could be caused by multiple organisms, many organisms together. So, but you need to do swab tests to know which particular organism is causing your own PID. There's nothing wrong in starting antibiotics before you get the test result. Once you get the test result, okay, the vaginal swab result, you might need to change your antibiotics to the specific one that works for that particular PID you have. It's important, number 4, once you notice pain in your lower abdomen or you're experiencing offensive discharge, go and get examined by your doctor. Let them examine you to know if there's a sign of PID in your vagina. And they can start antibiotics on time, take swabs, and then treat you specifically for that particular organism in your case causing PID. I have many women come to my Facebook group, come to our WhatsApp page and ask me questions that doctor, I have PID. What antibiotics should I use? I tell them, have you done vaginal swabs? They say, why? Just give me treatment. I can give you treatment, yes, but I don't think I'll be doing you perfect good. There's nothing wrong in taking a particular antibiotics if you have any sign of PID. But it's also important that while you're taking the antibiotics, somebody, a doctor, must have taken swabs from your vagina, and then we culture the swabs. Within 2-3 days, we get a result. If that swab result says that we should change the antibiotic we are giving to you to one that is more specific to your own PID, then we have to change it. Otherwise, you will not completely treat your infection. That is why a lot of people, they've treated PID in the past before, but still yet they have damaged tube. It's because it was not properly treated. That is one of the commonest ways where you can cause damage to your body by not properly treating your particular PID. PID can happen to anybody. You can be a pastor. You can be the choir mistress. You might have the best morals. Okay, I'm not judging anybody here. But what I'm saying is that even your pastor wife can have PID. It doesn't mean that they are doing jaga. It doesn't mean they are being wayward. No, anybody can catch PID. But yes, definitely, it's much commoner in people with unpleasant sexual habits. Yes, it's true, but anybody can have PID, especially if you're sharing sex toys or if you're sharing or you're sharing personal items. It's very rare, but if you're in an unstable relationship, you're going to be prone to PID, whether you're a man or a woman. Now, PID does not discriminate between age or gender. Anybody, man or woman, can have PID. And in fact, PID is even much more dangerous in men because it causes damage and blockage of their tubules. And then they release sperm, there's no spermatozoa in the sperm. You have a lot of men today, they've gone for semen analysis. We go to their semen analysis report and there's azoospermia. There's no spermatozoa seen at all. Zero, nada, zilch in the semen produced. They're producing semen, but we can't find anything in the semen because their seminiferous tubules has been blocked in the past because they have PID that was not treated or that was not known. PID can happen to anybody, whether you're in high school, you're in primary school, you are in university, you are, you're even, you're in a working class. It can happen to anyone. You don't have to be young or old before you can have PID. Anybody can have PID. And also, if you're going to be involved in if you're not in a stable relationship, okay, and you're not going to use barrier contraception like condoms, okay, don't put a coil in. Repeat me, please, don't misquote me. Listen to me attentively. If you're not in a stable relationship, okay, and you want to use contraception, okay, coil, copper or marina should be your last option, okay? If you are in an unstable relationship and you want to use contraception, coil, marina, or copper coil should be your last option because if you're not in a stable relationship, and you're not using condom during sex, you're going to be exposed to PID. And with the coil in your vagina, the coil in your womb cavity is an express road for infection to climb and enter into your womb and move into your tubes. Okay, if you got temperature, offensive smelly discharge, pain when you're passing urine, pain in your lower abdomen, you're having fever, you're having smelly offensive discharge, those could be signs of PID. Get examined, swabs taken, and treated for PID as soon as possible. PID not treated can cause damage to your tubes, can cause blockage to your cervix. It's important. You don't want to have the problem with tubal blockage. You see, I say all the time here, 5 things must be happening for sex to make you have a baby. Okay, Kelvin Babatunde, PID is pelvic inflammatory disease or pelvic inflammatory diseases. Okay, now most PIDs are sexually transmitted, but not all of them. Most PIDs are sexually transmitted. Okay, STI or STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, but not all PIDs are sex. Most are related to sexual activities, but not all of them. There are some PID, bacterial vaginosis is not from sex. Okay, yeast infection, Candida, does not cause PID. I know you already asked me that question because somebody asked me that question some few days ago. They did swab test, they found yeast infection in the vagina. I told her to use canesten. She was asking that her husband need to use canesten, and is yeast infection a sexually transmitted disease? I said no, no, and no. You just need to treat your Candida. Your husband doesn't need to treat Candida. Okay, but if your husband has got a separate infection, then we need to do swabs of his penis, of his urethra. Okay, take urine culture, and if we find any infection, we treat them on time quickly. Because if infection in the man blocks the tube, that is why if you're going to be in a relationship where you're not sure of yourself, it's better that the man uses condom or you avoid sex. Ultimately, you must use condom. Okay, you must have condom in your bag to ensure that you don't put yourself at risk of infections like PID, and ultimately don't put yourself at risk of HIV. HIV is still here. May God save us all. You need to ensure that you're taking protection. If you're not sure what you're doing, you're not sure of your relationship, you must use condom during sex. The best way to prevent PID is to avoid sex, but that's very unrealistic. Most people here will agree with me, whether you're hiding or not hiding, sex is part of life. Okay, I know you don't have to have sex every day, but sex is part and parcel of life, and sex was designed by God. Sex is not a sin except you misuse it. So there's nothing wrong with you having sex. But if you're going to have sex, it must be done ensuring that you're not putting yourself at risk. There's nothing wrong in driving a car, but if you're going to drive the car, don't drive your car drunk. Okay, don't drive the car drunk. You can do things properly, you can do things improperly. One of the ways to have sex, if you're not sure of what you're doing in your relationship, is to use condom, at least to protect yourself. And if your husband, the man doesn't want to use condom, give him condom to use. There's a question already on the screen. Yes. Say, doctor, is it normal for a ball to appear during period? Okay. Now, let us reframe the question. The question should be, you have boil during your period. Should you be worried? Now, boil can happen to anybody, whether you're having period or not. Okay, boil can happen to anybody. That is boil, folliculitis or whatever it's called. It can happen to anybody, whether you're having period or not. You don't have to have period to say you have boil. Okay, and that question that says that, oh, is it normal? There's nothing normal about having boil. Okay, once you have boil, that means that your hair follicle is infected, folliculitis. So if you look at every hair on your body, there's always a hole beside the hair. It's hair follicle. Once that hair follicle is blocked or infected, it causes folliculitis and it becomes boil. Whenever your hair follicle is infected, okay, that hair follicle always beside your hair is where you sweat. Your sweat pores comes out close to it. Once it's blocked, it becomes an infection. It becomes boil. There's nothing right about having boil, whether you're having period or not. If you have boil, period or no period, you got an infection of your skin, hair follicle, okay, and get it treated with properly through antibiotics, okay. Chef Jemomo, good evening, my sister Lydia Lucky. How are you, Lydia Lucky? Yeah, PID can be treated, and PID is treated with antibiotics, okay, but not all antibiotics works for all PID. Again, not all antibiotics works for all PID. PID can be caused by numerous organisms, many organisms. So we need to know what organism in your case is causing your own PID. Once we know it, then we treat it specifically. But in most cases, before we get the result of what's causing your own PID, we start you on broad spectrum antibiotics, which covers generally most possible organisms that could be causing the PID. They'll cover most, but they will not be specific. So we now wait for your swab result because we can't leave you open without treating you before we get your swab results back. Once your vaginal swab results come back, they come back to the doctor. The doctor will now look at it and look at the sensitivity, okay? And they will now say this particular antibiotics or a combination of ABC antibiotic will treat your particular PID, and then will change your antibiotic regime to that specific one that works best for you. Don't take particular antibiotic because your other friend are taking it for their own PID. It might work for you, it might not work for you. You don't want to jeopardize your sexual life. You don't want to jeopardize your future reproductive fertility life because you were walking in the dark. I've seen many people, they've got confused. See, these things are set in a pattern. You must follow the protocol to see and get a result you're supposed to get. Lady Wook, Mickey, how are you? Chick Wube, Cheche, how are you, my sister? There's a question here on Instagram. She says, Doctor, can egg rupture without being released? Or basically, your question chums the cherry is that can you ovulate? Okay, that is to say, can the follicle, dominant follicle on your ovary, pop and you don't release an egg? That's what you're saying. It's possible, but it's very rare. If you're having regular period, you're likely to be ovulating, you're likely to be releasing egg. If you're not pregnant, then we need to look at why you're not pregnant. Like I say all the time here, 5 things must happen to make sure that you are pregnant. Those 5 things, I'll mention them shortly, so hold on. There's a question here on Facebook. How do I take Clomid? Doctor, I just bought it. Now, we did a lecture last month and we talked about Clomid and Letrozole. Please, Chidima Osuji, go and join that group. I talked about this over 1 hour, okay? Join that group. You hear how to use Clomid and how to use Letrozole if you want to use either. You can't use Clomid and Letrozole together. Please don't put your life at risk. Don't use Clomid and Letrozole together. Please don't. Okay. By the way, too, I need to let you know, ATG as a laboratory is now been running for almost 18 months now. Our laboratory is designed to test for any cause of infertility. Even we have an IVF center at the ATG now. It's in Adimosho. We are coming to the island soon. I told you by the grace of God. We have a laboratory where you can run all your infertility tests. And for information to you, FYI, if you do your infertility test at our laboratory, you are automatically given my number and I will review your results for you free of charge. If you do all your tests, hormonal profile, ultrasound scan at our ATG IVF Center laboratories, I'll review your results for you free of charge. My secretary will give you the number to contact me once your results are out, okay? Doctor, you're pregnant with your first child, you're 19 weeks pregnant, 4 months, and 3 weeks, blah, blah. Your stomach grows rapidly. Is it normal? It's normal. Get a scan as soon as possible. Get a scan. And that is Eliano. Get a scan, please. And also register for antenatal. Doctor, for PID that shows Candida albicans, like I said again, I just talked. I said that I am Oriofe. Candida does not cause PID. Yeast infection is the same thing as Candida, and they don't cause PID. Candida is a simple vaginal infection. Basically, it's a skin infection, oral infection, vaginal infection. They don't cause PID. Okay? Candida treatment is simple. Canesten. If you're not pregnant, you can use Diflucan. If you're pregnant, you can't use Diflucan. You must use canesten to treat your yeast infection. And canesten can be very useful in the sense that if you have stubborn yeast infection that comes and goes all the time, you can be placed on weekly canesten to treat and to subdue and to control the infection. Yes, Ibukun Lucas, thank you. OG Claire on Instagram. We are coming live to the island. We're coming to the island with a bang by God's grace. Okay, so stay tuned and keep your ears close to the ground. We are not yet on the island, but we're coming there. We have a laboratory at ATG IVF Center. that can do all your infertility tests. You can get everything done there, and I'll review them for you free of charge as far as they are done at our laboratory. Simbi at Atinoke Bellos is saying that, can I take fluconazole, which is 1 dose, twice in a month? Because I noticed that I used to treat an itch and you have toilet so and so. No. Simbi, you're getting it wrong. And this is where people get things wrong and they say that they're having problems. They are treating something's not going. Because you have an itch or whatever does not mean you have yeast infection. You must be examined. You must have vaginal swabs done. And they will have a confirmation that you have yeast infection. Yes, with experience, some doctors can look at your vagina and they can tell you clearly whether you have PID, whether you have a yeast infection. And if it is so, they will still take swabs to confirm. But while waiting for the swab test, they'll give you canesten or fluconazole to treat your yeast infection. Like I said again, you can't use fluconazole to treat yeast infection if you're pregnant. Okay, so please follow what I'm saying. Just because you have an itch does not mean you have a PID or yeast infection. No. Get examined. The first rule of being a scientist or a doctor is to observe and to examine first. Okay. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, J1 Ultimate, for sending that prayer to Eliana on Instagram. God bless you. We have people watching us on YouTube here. I'm trying to see if I can see their questions. Thank you. Good evening, Omo Rejoice TV. How are you? Thank you, Omo Rejoice TV, for following us here on YouTube. Thank you so much. My name is Dr. J at Ask the Gynecologist, and I'm with you today. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. So we have, I'm looking for questions here. Thank you, Nancy Richie, for coming up live on Instagram. God bless you. At the ATG IVF Center now, we have our 3D, 4D scan, where you can see what your baby looks like even before baby is born. You can see the face, everything. You can see the genitalia very, very clearly. At the ATG IVF Center now, we are still running a promotional service, which is going on. If you want to take part of this promotional service for your IVF treatment, it's important you call tomorrow morning and speak with Nikki or Dr. Chioma, and they'll set you up on an installment plan. You don't have to pay everything at a go. Nobody has 1 million naira or 850K to pay for IVF. Bam. Most people, in fact, almost 99.9% of our members that come to ATG IVF Center, they pay in installments. They don't pay full because they can't afford it at a go. They pay in installments, and once they get there, most people, they clear their bill before we transfer the embryo into them. Chikobe Cheche, is yeast infection very bad? Yeast infection can be very, very bad. It can make your vagina pepperish. It can make it look nasty even during sex, and make sex unpleasant, and make passing urine unpleasant. Yes, yeast infection can be very nasty. So if you got it, treat it on time before it becomes something crazy. Okay. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you to all our moderators out there for picking up all this information on the screen. Ibukun Lucas, what test should a couple do when trying to get pregnant? Like, yeah, I said before, 5 things must happen for pregnancy to take place. 5 things. And what are those 5 things that must happen for pregnancy to take place? Number 1, you must be having regular sex. A lot of people trying to get pregnant, they don't even have regular sex, and you wonder, are they joking? If you're looking for a job, what you do is to fill application forms and apply for a job regularly every day. If you're looking for a job, you apply every day. I've seen people trying to get pregnant, they only have sex once in 6 months. They are joking. God forgive me. But the fact is that to get pregnant, you must have regular sex. And when I say regular sex, I mean sex 2 to 3 times a week. The only time you're free from sex is during your period. I preach this all the time. It's not like an anthem to me. And there's a reason why I keep repeating. There's a power in repetition. There's anointing in repetition. And there's grace in repetition. The more you repeat, the more it sticks in, and the more somebody that will probably benefit will pass through. You must have regular sex. Sex 2 to 3 times a week. The only time you're free from sex is during your period. Number 2, you must do scan to check your ovaries and your womb. Some people don't have ovaries, and some people, their womb is malformed. You need to have scan to check that everything is okay. Number 3, you should do HSD to see if there's any blockage in your tube, your fallopian tube. If there's blocked fallopian tube, released egg cannot move. When you ovulate, the egg cannot move and get into the womb cavity. Number 4, you must check your husband's sperm or your sphere sperm, that the sperm is good. Number 5, you must... My Facebook is slow here. Hold on. I'm trying to get my Facebook reconnected. So just hold on. I'm trying to get the Facebook reconnected. I lost connection on Facebook. let us move this Facebook a bit towards the door. I always have that issue with, we are back again on Facebook. Sorry guys, I had a poor network here on my Facebook stuff. So number five is what? To check that you're ovulating. And how do we check if you're ovulating? We check your hormonal profile, your FSH hormone, LH hormone, day 21 progesterone, prolactin, AMH, and testosterone. All of these tests can be done at the ATD center. The only thing we don't do yet at our office is the HSG, and it's because of space. Once we have space, we'll put the HSG facility there, and you can do your X-ray test to check your tubes if they are open or blocked. It's important, very important to do all these things. Once you've done all those things, okay, it's very good for you before you move into marriage. In fact, if you're planning to get married, if you're going to get married, all these tests should be done, including your genotype, including HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, syphilis check. You must check all these things. We have a marriage package bundle at our office. If you're trying to get married, man or woman, you should do all these tests. They are very important. Don't go into marriage blindfolded. You must know your genotype. Forget all that thing about love thing. Okay? If you didn't know you're already married, that's okay. But at least if you're not yet married, you want to get married, you should do your genotype. But if you're already married, I'm not saying you should divorce each other, no. But you should know this. If you're going to get married tomorrow or this weekend, you should do your genotype to know what your genotype is and what the genotype of your husband or spouse or fiancé is. Don't enter into marriage. But if you're already married, it's a different thing entirely. In IVF center, ATG, we can do genotype for you before baby is born or before we transfer the embryo. But before you get married, if you're not yet married, don't marry blindly. Don't marry. Forget this thing. There's science to back things up. And if you're not sure of where the lab you are going for genotype, come to my lab. My name is on the stamp. If you are not sure, come to our lab. Let's do your genotype for you. Check your HIV status. Check your rubella. Check syphilis. Check hepatitis B, hepatitis C. So that two of you have a clean bill of health before you enter into this marriage. Marriage is a black market, okay? Don't even make it darker. Make NEPA no catch light from your marriage, yo. It's important. It's not a joke. It sounds funny, but it's a fact. You should not get married if you don't know your genotype. Now, if you're already married, and then genotype becomes a problem, that's fine. At IVF center, we can take care of that before egg is transferred. But if you're yet to get married, you must know your genotype. You must know your genotype, including your HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, VDRS status. Okay, let's move on. Can I still get pregnant with endometriosis? Yes. If your endometriosis is not damaging your tubes, you can get pregnant. But if your endometriosis has damaged your tubes, you might start considering laparoscopy to treat the endometriosis, or if it's so bad, you might need to consider IVF. As far as your endometriosis is not blocking and damaging your tubes, you can still get pregnant, okay? Thank you, Omar Rejoice TV. You're watching us on live YouTube. Thank you so much. Once again, if you just joined us for the first time, my name is Dr. J at Ask the Gynecologist. I'm your doctor, your host here tonight. Today, we're talking today about PID and infertility. And I made mention of the fact that PID is a major cause for tubal blockage. There are many things that can block your tubes. You had a previous ectopic pregnancy, which you had surgery on. If you had ectopic pregnancy, you might have lost your tubes. You might have had an infection from a previous surgery that has damaged your tubes. You might have your tube blocked intentionally for contraception. You might have had PID. Okay, and these things do block tubes. Anything like this can block tubes. Or if you had a severe endometriosis. If you have a very, very bad, severe endometriosis, it can cause tubal blockage. Okay? Tubal blockage. Doctor, please, must I have organism to get pregnant? Organism? There's nothing with organism and pregnancy. I'm trying to see if I get a question. That is for our lady here on Instagram. Must you have organism to get pregnant? I don't know what that means. Okay, please, what cause absence of menstruation for months can one still get pregnant? Okay, so you've not seen your menses for months. How many months? If you've not seen your menses, the things you'll be thinking about is that doing your hormonal profile to see if there's any particular reason why you're not having a period. And if your hormonal profile, they are all good, then there could be a blockage in your cervix that's not allowing the period to come out. Doctor, my hormonal profile test was told you have low progesterone and FSH, but it's okay. What can be done? Join our I can't review your results on the general page here. It's against medical ethics. It's even not even good for your privacy. Come to you and join our period services. Or your friend, let me go to your result and I can give you, one-to-one opinion on what's going on with your results. Okay, Dr. Ovo Ikelomo, your cycle is 26 days, but once in 3 months your period comes 18 days, it becomes 18 days, blah blah. You could have polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's high time tomorrow morning, go to a laboratory close to you or go to ATT laboratories and let's do your hormonal profile ultrasound scan to know if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome or you have any kind of hormonal imbalance that could be causing this kind of irregular periods. Okay, as far as you are ovulating, okay, then the chance of getting pregnant becomes very good. But we need to know why your periods are very scanty, not happening at all, or being very irregular, or coming at times when you can't predict, and we need to know why this is so. You could have polycystic ovarian syndrome, you could have high level of prolactin, or some sort of hormonal imbalance in your system causing all this. Eliana, doctor, what causes eclampsia? Is it true that it comes due to sleeping with a man that's under the order of the baby? Eclampsia is when a woman has convulsion from excessive uncontrolled blood pressure during pregnancy or shortly after pregnancy. It's not to do with what man you slept with, whether your husband or not your husband, okay? Eclampsia has got nothing to do with a man you slept with or a man you did not sleep with. Eclampsia is because of improper control or treatment of blood pressure in pregnancy and shortly after pregnancy or delivery. Okay, eclampsia has got nothing to do with the man you slept with or the man you didn't sleep with. Okay, please, if you're an ATG here, my job is to give you the right information. Okay, please take it as it is like that. Okay, endometriosis make you bleed. What causes blocked cervix and how can it open? Blocked cervix can be caused from infections in your cervix, from chlamydia or gonorrhea, can be caused from maybe operation, a previous operation, treatment on your cervix from bad cells, cancer cells. Cervix can be blocked from DIC and DNC not done properly. These things can cause your cervix to be blocked, and if it's blocked, we can open it through hysteroscopy and cervical dilatation. Okay, the reason why I suggest that you open your cervix with hysteroscopy and DNC is that hysteroscopy will ensure that there's no false passage created that can lead to infection like PID. Okay, very good. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you. If I've missed your questions, please apologies for that. It's not intentional. And if I've not missed your question, thank you so much for answering your question. And thank you for taking that bold step to come and ask your questions. And thank you so much as well for listening to me today. I really appreciate you for spending your time, your data most importantly, and even your time especially to listen to me. I really appreciate it. And I take it never for granted. Never. I don't take it for granted at all. My name is Dr. Alalade, Dr. J. And I'm your admin here, your doctor here at Ask the Gynecologist. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you soon at the ATG Laboratories and ATG IVF Center. The promo is still on. January is almost here. Don't miss the opportunity. Once it's January 15, the cost of our IVF goes back to the normal price. So don't lose that chance. Make A while the sun shines. So they say. Thank you. See you soon. God bless you. And I love all of you. Most importantly, I love myself too. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful weekend in advance as well.